What is going on, everybody? Welcome over here to the channel. Today we kick it off with episode 45 of the Montana Cattle Ranch series. So sit back, relax, smash that like button, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget we are doing a giveaway, information in the description below. Let's get right into this. So we're kicking it off on April 1st over here on the Cattle Ranch series, and we've had a lot going on this winter. One, we hit our goal, and we kind of blew past it quite a bit. We're sitting at I'm going to call it $8.6 million. Now, if you recall, my whole plan was to hit that $7 million mark, and then we were going to go ahead and buy this lot 127 right here, and that was going to open up all this ground. But I'm having second thoughts, and I will explain my second thoughts here. And I've decided to go with corn this harvest. And what I'm thinking is we're going to get into a couple new productions. And you will see one of them here shortly. But then I think we're going to go ahead and buy the oil plant here, which I don't have to buy it right away. I could buy it closer to harvest. But we're going to start producing corn oil, as well as we're going to be making corn flour, and we're going to be turning that into, I'm going to have to look at here really quick because it's off the top of my head. I can't remember. Corn tortillas. Tortillas? This is tortilla. Yeah. So we're going to be making some corn tortillas and some corn oil. Now, my big thought here is, let me open the map. And I'm thinking about, instead of buying 127, which they want, $7.5 million for, which really I only want it for a couple little things. Instead, either A, purchasing lot 141, and then all these surrounding fields, I believe all these right here would run me about $4 million. Or I buy all these fields over here, and that's going to run me close to the same, roughly, and do a massive expansion to the ranch. And I'm kind of leaning towards that route. Now, I have a little bit of time to make up my mind here and figure it out. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it for this harvest. And so that way we can actually capitalize on our investment. Now, I'm still just kind of, I'm debating with myself because I'm not exactly sure. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take care of some chores here. I've already emptied out the manure pit, and we have a ton of slurry and a ton of manure in our BGA. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fired up right away. Yeah, we're sitting on 1.2 million liters of manure in here. So we should end up with a very nice payday just off of this. So let me go ahead and fire this up. Yep, that's all good. Slurry's rolling in. Once this slurry truck empties, though, we're going to make a couple runs. I have a full trailer of wool I need to drop off down at the production at the co-op. And we have technically my new trailer for replacing our Super Bee. I did go ahead and get rid of that. And then I did pick up another semi-trailer for harvest time, which is sitting over there. And my whole goal behind that was to kind of just get rid of the Super Bee, because it was very hard getting in and out of the productions, as you guys have seen. So I wanted to do that. And then I do plan on expanding our fleet. I'm going to pick up a new semi here, probably closer to harvest, maybe 2 new semis, And you'll kind of see why. I want to try to be as efficient as possible, if that's possible in this game. But you'll kind of see why come harvest time, because I've kind of got a new plan in mind and some new goals. But let me go ahead, grab this trailer, we'll head down to the co-op, because we've had a couple things change down there as well. Alright, so we made it over here to the co-op. Let me go ahead and just drop this wool off really quick. Should go fairly quickly. Oh yeah. And we're going to come over here. So I've made a couple changes before I pan over to what I've done. I had to get rid of 2 of the coffee bean greenhouses because they produce so many coffee beans that it filled up both of my coffee bean roaster buildings. That's a tongueful. And I went ahead and replaced both of them with another roaster because 2 of them can keep up with 3 of these productions, which is quite insane if you ask me. But another thing I went ahead and added was this multi-grain production, because this is where we're going to produce our corn flour and our corn tortillas. Tortillas is just such a weird word in my opinion. Tortilla just seems right, but I'm gonna roll with it. But I want to go ahead and actually see how much money. We're gonna park the truck right here. Shouldn't really be in the way. But I want to see how much money we've actually made off of our roasted coffee beans. So I'm going to go ahead and empty out the raw beans in this and go ahead and put them in our 3rd production, because that's the only one that isn't completely full at the moment. Like, I think it filled up both of those roasters in a matter of 3 months, maybe 3 months. It filled up both of them, and I was like, well, we got to change something up. So let me go ahead and empty these out, and then we're going to grab all our roasted coffee beans and do a sell-off on those and see what we've gotten. So we still have some coffee beans left in this production here, but we ended up with a full trailer load of roasted coffee beans. 250,000 liters of them. Now, I am curious to see what this brings in, because this should be not a bad paycheck. Should be fairly good. So let's see what this comes out to. $781,000 plus an additional $91,754 from the environmental score, and we still have some more left to go. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that was worth it. Putting in both of these, well, all 3 of these coffee roasting productions, it paid off big time. That was some really good money. Mind you, that was running all through winter time, but still, like, very, very, very good. And I don't think this is gonna quite put us over the 10 million mark. There's probably... there can't be too much more left in here. I'm shocked there... okay, I was gonna say, I thought it was like 50,000 liters still. But it still will be a nice little chunk to add on to what we have. And this is where I'm really on the fence, because we still have all our slurry and manure to sell off. So I am still debating with myself whether or not we should do this big expansion, because I'm going to have to buy more equipment. We're going to have to put in some new buildings. We're going to have to... I'm still going to have to buy another combine for these farms. So, okay, another 150,000 plus 17,000. Call it 18,000 with the environmental score. And that puts us up to 9.6 million. So we made $1 million just off our coffee beans from, I think we ended off in October, maybe November. I don't quite remember because I'm bouncing back and forth between series. But very good. At the very least, that did very well for us, just for pretty much an idle production. But I'm gonna make it back over here, or make it back over to the ranch, and we are going to make a quick run, really quick. All right, so we grabbed the new, or not the new rig. We grabbed our semi with the new trailer. We ended up getting the Load King. It's got three, I'm gonna pop the tarp on this. Yeah, we've got 3 different bays on it. It doesn't hold quite as much as the Super Bee does, but I think the maneuverability on getting in and out of those productions is going to be a lot better and a lot easier compared to driving the Super Bee. And this is actually going to be our first test with it. So, I mean, hopefully I didn't waste my money on it, but I feel like we should be able to, squeeze in there a little easier. So I will see you as soon as we arrive over there. Alright, we're pulling into the Jack Daniels factory now, and this is going to be the true test. I think this one's a lot harder to get around than the Yuengling factory. So let us make sure we've got the right hoppers. So that should be the middle. Yep, middle's unloading. And then we'll go ahead and dump the back one, because we're just dropping off corn here, and we're going to go ahead and put barley in the Yuengling factory to keep them rolling. Actually, something else I totally forgot about was we have all our beer and whiskey to sell off. Now, I don't know how much is left in there, or how much is in there to sell off. We may just hold off for a little bit till I kind of decide to make another run up here with the flatbed. But let's see if we can actually get around this. This should be a lot easier. Cross my fingers. So far it's looking good. Oh, I didn't swing that wide enough. Or I didn't cut in soon enough. Look. Oh. Well, we scratched the trailer a little bit, but not a big deal. But we still made it around there way easier than the Super Bee. Like, I call that a win. That worked out a lot better than expected. So let's go ahead and drop this barley off really quick. It shouldn't take long. It's only 15,000 liters. I think it empties about the same as the Super Bee did as well. But there we go. Actually, I'm going to hop out. You know what? I'm not even worried about it. I will see you back over at the farm, though. So we've let some time pass. We got all our seeding done, our cornfields done, our barley fields in, and our manure and slurry went ahead and ran through and left us with a total of $10.7 million by the time it was all done. Now, I did a ton of thinking. I did a ton of homework and a bunch of number crunching and just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. But I think you guys are going to find out on the next episode. But until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.